A gun. I blow up my nose. My nose. No. Okay, so if a word has got several meanings, different possible trajectories, if you're moving along saying certain words and a certain particular word might have different orientations. So, meaning you say, what does meaning mean? So it has different orientations. So you're kind of following this and you're going forwards, words, you're going forwards, and there's a possibility that each of these kind of vectors or words kind of have slightly different orientations, especially if you get one that has two, right? Obvious word, ones. One, that's another one. One, one, two, three, one, I won. What's the other one? One news, one. I'm thinking of the spelling. One. He won something. I won. I win. Words, for words. Words, as in sentences, whatever they are. For words, backwards. So if we go for words, how? That's an interesting vector. It's got a lot of vector, isn't it? How? If we go for words, how do we improve communication of material? No, of depth. Void the noun. Depth that we need to communicate about in order to sort out, certain, for example, social, global issues. To what depth? Do we have to go as deep as father? Do we have to look at each other, oh, father? Yes, we definitely do. I think, right, okay, here's an interesting one, right? People have asked me, why have you got a tattoo in the back of your head? It's like, okay. But some people have actually suggested, have they asked, is that an O? Is that a zero? Maybe. Is that one? It's kind of entertaining. Is that so who came up with? There's another one. What was it? Oh, I'd come up with a few, but not that many people have actually come up to. Is that? That's when. That marks. That's when I was born. I got that mark when I was born. I was born with that mark. I was about 28, 29 when I kind of had that stuck in the back of my head. 28, 29. I'd just gone 28 that year. That's when I and that's a mark that I made for it when I was born, one could say. Stuff to do with me, you see, is kind of okay, but it's not that interesting to you. Is it? Could I communicate significantly to a few people? And who I could talk to each person, and they know no one else is going to see this. Okay, what happens if they knew it was actually out in public? Because the thing about sending a letter is that they can be ignored. Even emails, they can be ignored. Or, for example, my brother had this kind of long, blasting kind of thing. I mean, I was living in... brother pops up a lot, doesn't he? Interesting, isn't it? Oh, he's quite important. Sadly, you know. Sadly. Shouldn't be, should it? It should not be sad, should it? Okay, I definitely want to say a few things to my brother. But I had this conversation, I was in Portugal, and, you know, I'm taking like 5 months out. I just helped with my family there, and there was a death in the family there, which was difficult for the family, and I was helpful, I think. And I was glad I was there. And after that, and eventually I'm sort of like just, you know, going for runs outside, across dunes and rock climbing a bit, swimming in the sea, you know, doing this for a few months, just happy as Larry. Doing some jaxing. And the only real form of communication, I had a couple of people I communicated with, but one of them was my brother. For some reason, it kind of surfaced. And we had this kind of email back and forth. Unbelievable. And, you know, however much tried to turn things around, it just, just didn't. Couldn't communicate with him very well. I mean, he's got lots of things going on in his life, and I had very little. So I kind of like gave it a lot of my attention. No points there. But because it can be ignored. Whereas if you put it out in public, it means that other people can listen if they want to. Which means that if my brother was looking at this thing, if I'm talking to him, for example, and I will be in the next one, he knows that, you know, somebody could look at that. You know, and I'll probably get my mum to look at it. You know, and so on. So therefore, it becomes a social thing. And if it becomes a social thing, he cannot just exert his kind of control and focus on his own thing, because it's definitely out there in social space. And although it doesn't get voiced very much, very often within his social space, now he can ignore it. He can ignore the fact that it's out there on the internet, and various people are looking at it. And that's what people can do. But it's quite interesting that we can invite people to have a look. And they know other people might be looking too. It's a level, though, of communication that might be possible. And we're talking about 10 minutes. So do I have your permission to talk to a few people for 10 minutes, maximum? All right, because, you know, YouTube, it's a nice, perfect 10 minutes. How deep can you go? 10 minutes. And the good thing about it is you can replay it. Yeah, this is quite nice, actually. This is very direct. This is definitely a medium for communicating to people. Yeah? So you can communicate to me, I can communicate to you. And hopefully relationships that matter. And we're still thinking we're communicating to strangers. All right, jaxing is about kind of sharing, you know, the existence that we both kind of have within ourselves. Okay, so there's actually not really communication. Whereas this is definitely kind of like communication. And instead of us thinking history about televisions and we're one-to-many, stranger, no, it's very personal.